Hello, and welcome to the Global Studies News Network. I'm your host, Chris Ketchel. Our top story tonight. A man in Stillwater has decided that he's going to make a belt completely out of watches. Unfortunately, he changed his mind when he found out it was a complete waste of time. More at 11. And now let's watch this intriguing video on globalization. I want to talk to you about a term that we're going to use a lot the rest of the semester, and that's globalization. And I always describe globalization as the shrinking of the globe. Not physically, but because of technology. Never before has the world seemed as small as it is now. And, it's in many different ways. So here's some examples. Politically, countries are more connected than ever. And it's easier to be connected. I mean, you can have a meeting with someone on the other side of the globe and be, face to face via your computer. We're doing it right now by connecting to school and having, Google Meets and Zoom meetings. So politically, we're connected. Countries are working together on really big global issues. Culturally, they're connected. Movies are, famous, around the world. Movies from India, they have an area there called Bollywood. Those, similar to our Hollywood, where they make, movies that some of them come here to the United States. You can see on the right, the Harry Potter movie was translated into another language. I'm not an expert at it, but I'm going to guess Spanish, I hope. If not, somebody I'm sure will let me know what it is. But so, and it's, 50 years ago, that really didn't happen at all. Also, clothing. Think about your clothing and not only clothing trends, but where clothing is made, okay? And we'll talk about that in a little bit because it's made all over the globe. And I'm guessing, most of your clothes are made in another country. But because of technology, we're able to ship it, make it somewhere else, ship it here where it's sold to us. Pop culture. I am not an expert in K-pop. I'm sure some of you are, but that's a great example of how, a culture from another country shapes what we're doing here, or in many cases, our culture shapes other countries. So you can see, look here, here's McDonald's in 2 different countries. The one on the right, I believe, is an Asian country. I don't know which one, but you can see by the Asian writing. The one on the left, I'm guessing, is somewhere in Europe. But McDonald's is a global corporation. Here's another one, I'm guessing from Japan. That this is an American company that has now touched lives and families around the world with their products. Traveling, it's easier than ever to travel. The pandemic has definitely slowed it down, but due to technology, you can travel anywhere around the world or ship something anywhere around the world in less than 24 hours. It's fascinating to me that we are able to do that. If I need to get somewhere, I can. Global communication. I'm sure I know some of these symbols, but not all of them. I'm sure you know many of them. But the way we communicate, it's fascinating these days. And so, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the one that's not on here, I think, is the newest one, which I heard several students talking about the other day, was TikTok. I'm sure you know what that is. I have no idea. Well, I kind of have an idea, but I've never seen it. But so there's just, so many different ways to communicate. And it's really, I believe, in some ways affecting the way that we live our lives. This is, 20 years ago, none of this existed. None of it. And it's worldwide. People have cell phones in places that you would never dream about having cell phones. News is now global. You can get news from all over the world. And so the hardest part, I think, is discerning the news that is truthful or not truthful. And so it's really up to us as global citizens to look at the news and do our own research and decide what's true and what's not true. And so it's, especially with all the media that we have today and all the ways to communicate. You can, two different networks here, Fox News and CNN, both tell us the news, but they do it from two different very points of view. And so as global citizens, it's up to us to, figure out what is truthful and what is opinion. And that's one of the biggest challenges I think that we have today. So I encourage you as eighth graders, some of you, if you're 14 right now, you'll be eligible to vote in 4 years in the next presidential election. So I encourage you to go out and begin to look for the facts that you think are important and to create your own points of view. Also, trade and economics is very important, and it's global now. This is one shipyard, but you can see how things come from all over the world, and the major shipping routes are extremely important to getting goods and services around the globe. This is just a very small example of how things move around the world. They're created in one place, they're warehoused somewhere else, they're sold somewhere else, they're moved all over. And there's still old-fashioned forms of trade as well in some parts of the world, although they are becoming less and less and smaller and smaller. Religion, as people move and more people immigrate to different parts of the world, religion is becoming, as far as culture and globalization goes, different religions are spreading to different parts of the world. And then also, education and humanitarian work, what that means is, people, because we can travel and because of technology, we're able to help other, more developed nations are able to help other parts of the world as they develop as well, either with housing or with water or with agriculture, many different ways. And so as the world continues to shrink, remember, not physically, but because of technology, the world and everyone in it becomes more and more connected. Intriguing. I look forward to seeing where your clothes are made. Be sure to check the lesson for today and hit the submit button. That's all for now. Good day and good news.